I never changed the locks. I never locked him out. I took his key.
And the judge
Don't talk nonsense to me.
gets heated.
Mr. Quigley, if you play it straight with me, you're going to be much better off. Do you understand?
You got it. I want to choose my words wisely.
If I were you, I would choose them very wisely.
This is Judge Judy. William Reed is suing his former roommate, William Quigley, for the return of rent, a constructive eviction, and emotional distress.
Judge, this is case number 20 on the calendar in the matter of Reed versus Quigley. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Mr. Reed.
Yes, Your Honor.
You rented a room at the defendant's house?
Correct.
And that room was paid for by a charitable organization?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct?
Yes.
Could you tell me what charitable organization paid for that room and when they paid the rent and in what amount?
Lutheran Social Services.
Can you tell me why, Mr. Reed?
Oh, why? I'm sorry.
Why?
My house, June 29th, my house burned down. So I went to a homeless shelter for from July 5th to October 5th until I moved in with Mr. Quigley.
Lutheran Services
Yes.
paid 6 months in advance.
Yes.
Is that what I gather from your complaint?
Yes, absolutely.
How much did you receive from Lutheran Services?
When the plaintiff moved in, I received approximately $1,000.
Oh, exactly.
I received $1,000.
That's not true, Your Honor.
How much in total did you receive, sir, from Lutheran Services for the first 6 months that Mr. Reed was living at your home?
Eventually, I got $4,800 in total.
And during what time frame did you get the $4,800? From when to when?
Well, he moved in October 4th, and by, I believe, November 20th, I had the full amount.
Okay, so within a month you got the full $4,800.
About 6 or 7 weeks.
Good. And so he was paid through October, November, December, January. He was paid through March.
6 months, which meant March 31st was the
paid
end.
through March.
Correct.
And had you ever rented any rooms in your house before, Mr. Quigley?
Yes, I have.
At the time that Mr. Reed was there, were any other tenants there?
There was a tenant in place until December 31st of 2019, and they vacated on the 1st. They were gone.
And you didn't replace them?
I did not.
Okay.
Your Honor, the guy left because he did... Okay.
Don't tell me why he left, sir.
Okay.
That really requires hearsay from you to me.
Okay.
And don't interrupt him. 6 months were up, and Mr. Reed did not move out. Mr. Reed is suing for a constructive eviction because he said that you locked him out in violation of the law. Because of COVID, there was a moratorium on evictions. And he also said that subsequent to March, even before, but subsequent to March, that you embarked upon a course of conduct that was harassing in order to force him to leave the residence. That's what your lawsuit is about, sir. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And, Mr. Quigley, you have a counterclaim for the rent that you believe you're owed from the plaintiff for the period of time that he lived there after March 31st, and some damage that you claim that he did to the property.
Correct.
When your house burned down, sir, was anybody else other than yourself living there?
Yeah. It was 5 other people living there.
Who owned the house?
Mary was my landlord.
How long had you lived there?
A year and a half.
Because from your complaint, it sounded as if this was your house. So it was not your house. You merely rented a room there.
Correct.
And what kind of work did you do before this house burned down? Were you renting
I was a car salesman, and then I did Uber.
When did you start to work Uber?
I started February 9th, 2000.
Car?
Yes.
Do you support anyone other than yourself?
No.
Why did this charity pay 6 months' rent for you if you've been working continuously from February of 2018?
Because I lost everything when my house burned down. All my clothes were gone. Everything, 80% of everything I owned was gone. And I needed a chance to get back on my feet.
Well, so you had that chance. They paid your rent for the first 6 months.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
So
I was
you
homeless.
had an opportunity.
I was homeless from July 5th to October 5th. So I had to find a place to stay. I couldn't drive as much as I wanted to because I didn't have anywhere to put my things at.
Do you still have a car?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of car do you have?
Chrysler 300.
Do you have a note on the car, or do you own it?
I have a note on the car.
You have a note on the car?
Yes, ma'am.
With what finance agency?
CB is CBN.
And when did you purchase the car?
January 2018.
And what year car is it?
2016.
And what's your car payment every month?
$400.01.
You have insurance. You have to have insurance also. Does that include the insurance?
My insurance company is Infinity.
So now my question to you, sir, is I understand that there was a moratorium on eviction because of COVID.
Yes.
But that's only, I mean, the rationale behind that, people were left unemployed, that the government felt because of this highly unusual circumstance, it had to intervene so that people wouldn't be out on the street because they weren't working. But according to your testimony to me, Mr. Reed, you've worked continuously from February 9th, 2018 up until present. And I assume that you are current in your car payment.
No, ma'am.
$400.
My mother was paying that for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't care who's paying it for you. If your mother's paying for it, that's very, very nice. That means that the money that you get from working, you can put in your pocket. So I want to know, you stayed in Mr. Quigley's house. I just want to know who my customers are.
Gotcha.
You stayed in Mr. Quigley's house for an extra 2 months?
Yes, ma'am.
April and May?
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't pay any rent?
He had the $1,000 deposit.
Just a second. And my question to you is, why didn't you pay any rent?
Oh.
Now you can answer me.
Okay,
You say he had a deposit.
Yep, ma'am. I didn't make $400 in March. I was borrowing money from my sensei. I do martial arts. I was borrowing money from my sensei. I was borrowing money from my mother at that time. So March 15th, it was dead in Uber. It was absolutely dead. I worked 8 hours one day. I think it wasn't enough money to do anything with. And I actually said to Mr. Quigley that I would pay him the $600. I would pay him if I could pay $100 or $200 a week if he would just leave me alone. That was never the case.
So just a second. So you asked him if you could pay small amounts.
Correct.
Because you couldn't. You had already had a very generous gift from a charity.
Yes.
Of $4,800.
Yes.
Your mother was paying your car note.
Yes.
You were borrowing money from your sensei. Did I say that right?
Yes, ma'am, you did.
So in the 2 months that you lived at Mr. Quigley's house, just tell me, how much did you give him for this effort in trying to give him something,
he refused.
even though you weren't making
He refused, and at that point, that's when...
No, just a second. So when you said, listen, I'll give you as much as I can, he said no.
Yeah. I said, I have an audio.
You have a what?
I have an audio of saying,
hey. An audio?
Yeah, I said, hey, I'll pay you $100 a week. And he originally agreed the deposit money that was given, he originally agreed to say, hey, if I can keep the deposit, you can give me $600 and then I can stay for the rest of the time. He refused. Then he said, nope, I'm keeping the deposit. Nope, I'm not. You're out of here. I said, I don't have anywhere to go.
Show me somewhere where part of this $4,800 was a deposit. How much was the rent?
The rent was...
What was the rent that they were supposed to pay?
The rent that
month?
I charge is $800 a month.
For a room?
For a room.
Do you have anything in writing, either one of you, from anything, from either the charitable organization or an agreement between the two of you that the rent was $800 a month? Something.
I have some receipts. I also have this that's just saying
Receipts
how much I paid him and then how much I owe him and all the rest of this stuff.
Your Honor?
Well, how much did you pay him?
I didn't pay the charity.
What are your receipts? I understand, but you said I have receipts. It says how much I paid him and how much
they paid him, and he gave me a receipt in exchange.
Your Honor, we had an agreement, and it was written out in a messaging app called Messenger.
May I see it?
I would show it to you, but he deleted it.
No, I haven't.
The plaintiff deleted the whole conversation.
I'd like to see it.
He deleted the conversation.
Just a second, I'd like to see it. Just a second. The agreement is you're paying $1,600 a month for 6 months. What? Rent is paid until February. Well, actually, rent was paid until March.
That's not me in that conversation.
December.
I'm not in that conversation.
Yeah, this says Bill Quigley right.
Reminder, today is the 2nd and the rent's due on the 1st, and this is December 2nd.
The check's short.
Well, but I thought, Mr. Reed, pay attention.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Quigley says he got the entire amount of money, $4,800, within the first 6 weeks or 7 weeks. So you're paid up until
March 31st.
So why would there be a reminder on December 2nd?
Because they were sending the checks, and sometimes the checks were late, and he needs this money immediately. I'm like, hey, you've already been paid up until this certain time. Why do you just wait for it? So eventually, I had to call them to get the rest of for them to send the last final check because they ran out of money for the COVID because of COVID or something. Yeah.
Where does your mother live?
My mother lives in Kansas City, Missouri.
And how is she making your car payment, Mr. Reed? By what?
Yeah, with, I think, direct deposit or something like that.
No, that's not an answer.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't think that he is the kind of case that the government had in mind when they said you can't evict anybody. That doesn't mean that you're not supposed to pay rent. You're supposed to pay rent if you're working.
Claims former roommate William Quigley constructively evicted him by creating a miserable living situation. The defendant is countersuing for rent, damaged property, and for creating an unsafe living environment.
Okay. What's your mother's phone number?
816.
And if I called your mother, whose name is?
Imogene Reed.
Your mother would tell me that between the time that the house in which you rented a room burnt out until March or April, she was making your car payment. Is that what she's going to tell me when I call her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's try it.
This is awesome.
Where would your mother be, Mr. Reed?
I wouldn't know. I haven't talked to her. I can call her. She probably answered for my number.
Is that her home phone?
No, that's her cell phone.
What's her home phone?
Don't know. I have no idea. I haven't lived there in 10 years or 8 years.
Whether you've lived there for 8 or 10 years is not an issue, but knowing your mother's home phone number would be sort of an interesting thing, especially since she was paying $400 a month, 9 months.
I don't even think she has a home phone. Does
your mother work?
As far as I know. Yeah, she was working. She was a nurse. She was a nurse at the Laredo Hospital, the head of labor and delivery.
Is she still working?
No, she's moved back to Kansas City. She was in Laredo.
When did she stop working?
I want to say June or July.
Mr. Reed, I have to tell you that I am not moved by your case.
You will be.
Initially, when I went, I will be?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think so, sir. I don't think so, sir. I'm going to tell you why. The only thing that I'm actually interested in is the illegal eviction, and there's no question that Mr. Quigley, if I were to ask him, will tell me that he did at one point lock you out. Is that correct, sir?
I did not lock him out.
Mr. Quigley?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you change the lock?
I never changed the locks.
Well,
he took
what
the key.
Did you do in order to lock him out?
I never locked him out. I took his key.
You took his key?
And I left the doors unlocked.
Okay, well, were the police called?
The police were called.
Yes, I have the evidence right there of that.
And the police, just a second, the police were called.
Yes, they were.
Mr. Quigley, if you play it straight with me, you're going to be much better off. Do you understand?
You got it.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. You know, unmoved by your counterclaim as well. But I tell you, when themselves, unemployed, his house burned down, he lost his stuff, you can understand that he was going through a very difficult time. His priority was making his car payment. I'm not sure, since he doesn't even know his mother's home phone number. I'm not so sure that his mother was paying $400 a month for his car for all this time. And he was, in fact, according to him, working continuously from 2018. So I don't think that he is the kind of case that the government had in mind when they said, you know, you can't evict anybody. That doesn't mean you can't evict anybody. It doesn't mean that you're not supposed to pay rent. You're supposed to pay rent if you're working.
I didn't have it, Your Honor.
It's not a free-for-all for all tenants to say, listen, starting in March, I don't have to pay rent because I can't be evicted. That's not what the idea behind the government's admonition about eviction.
I would have paid him if he would have shown any kind of respect towards me whatsoever.
You know, if I would have been 5'6", I could have been a runway model. But it didn't happen for me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you know how much experience I have in judging?
A tremendous amount.
I've been a judge for 40 years.
Yes.
Don't waste my time. I don't want to hear that you couldn't get a plumber for 3 days and that has something to do with him. Don't talk nonsense to me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Reed has accused former roommate William Quigley of constructively evicting him by making his life miserable.
Okay, so what I'm telling you, sir, is I am unmoved by your case.
Okay.
You have a counterclaim.
I do.
You have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for the rent that he owes and damage that he did. I want you to tell me about the damage that you are alleging that he did.
The damage amounts to several things.
Well, if you're thinking so hard, sir.
I want to choose my words wisely.
You should.
The bulk.
If I were you, I would choose them very wisely.
The bulk of the damage was flooring that was ruined and has to be replaced. That's in the process of being replaced.
He's lying, Your Honor.
Is that because he used the washing machine too often?
That's because...
that's what you say here.
Well, specifically...
That's what you say here.
My state...
That he used the washing machine
but
too
a liar.
often.
Nothing but one.
Specifically...
I don't want you to speak.
Specifically, we had an incident in August with heavy rains, and we had a sewer backup into my house while he was residing in. Pointed out...
I didn't live there in August.
I specifically...
I don't want you to speak. He's talking now. This is not a free-for-all, Mr. Reed.
Okay. My apologies.
It was heavy rains, and I couldn't get a plumber for a couple of days over the weekend until Monday, and this was like on a Friday that I demonstrated.
Do you know how much experience I have in judging? Do you have any idea?
A tremendous amount.
I've been a judge for 40 years. Don't waste my time. I don't want to hear that you couldn't get a plumber for 3 days because it was a heavy rain and that has something to do with him. Don't talk nonsense to me.
Okay, I understand. I pointed out that we had a backup problem and you can only do one load of laundry or take one shower a day, and then it had to recede.
Yeah, we're done. I'm done with your counterclaim.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay, I have just a couple more questions before I say goodbye to both of you. Mr. Reed, where are you living now?
In a hotel or Airbnb right now.
You're staying in an Airbnb at what address?
I don't know that address, Your Honor. I just went there.
You're living prior to Sunday.
I was living in the Hilton. I was able to negotiate a lower rate. I've been at the Hilton and then Airbnbs ever since I was from his home.
You've been staying at a Hilton?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the favorable rate that you've been able to negotiate?
$60 a night. They heard my situation, so I was able to pay for $60 a night.
Just a second.
Yes,
$60 a night.
Plus tax. So it came out to like 66 or something like that.
So you're paying close to $500 a week for the room?
Yes, ma'am.
That would be $2,000 a month.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're making those payments as a result of doing Uber driving.
Working through Uber. And I finally got some stimulus money, so I was able to actually do something with it. I didn't.
Very good. Okay. Very good. Go back to work. Your case is dismissed, as is your counterclaim. Go back to work. If you live someplace, you're supposed to pay rent. You're supposed to follow the rules, sir, and not limit somebody's
Your Honor, I called the police.
We're done
got 9 times.
We're done. We are done.
Thank you.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
You mistakenly parked in her parking space. Are you alleging that she keyed your car?
Absolutely not.
When you do something wrong, you lack the sympathy factor.
Next Judge.
This guy, he's pure evil.
He's a freeloader scam artist.
The man threw trash in my room so he could put me in prison.
He has no responsibility. He has an immense sense of entitlement.
He told me since I don't believe in the Lord, I should bow to him.
He can't even lie right.
I don't respect you. I don't like you. I don't need to do what you say.
You know, lesson learned, don't try to help anybody. Just, let them be people that act like they need help.
You were cooking out of your home for profit.
Was a social media comment in poor taste?
She said, please beware and don't purchase from her.
Do you have a food license to be able to cook and sell to the public?
No, I don't.
The judge has no appetite for dishonesty.
You knew you were breaking the law when you were cooking and selling food out of your house. You don't have a love affair with the truth.
This is Judge Judy. Colleen Fuller is suing Moshe Platt for defamation of character and loss of income after Moshe slandered her on Facebook.
Judge, this is case number 160 on the calendar in the matter of, folks, have a seat, please.
Ms. Fuller, this is what I gather from your complaint. Because of the COVID pandemic, the governor of your state, Governor Newsom in California, closed all restaurants to in-person dining indoors. But would you stop moving around, please? You're making me seasick.
Sorry.
And you belong to some sort of a food group. You posted, according to you, on your Facebook page, a statement, which I will look at. According to you, the statement indicated that you were going to be sort of a vigilante, and if you knew anyone who was breaking the rule and allowing for indoor dining, you were going to report them.
Correct.
Tell me exactly what you posted on your Facebook page. Read it to me.
Okay. It says, if I see any inside dining open, I'm calling OSHA, ABC, whoever I need to, point blank, period.
Okay, and that's all you said?
Yes.
As a result of that, the defendant, who you knew, you say called you.
She called me at my job. She didn't call my phone directly.
That's not true.
Well, just a second. Hold on a second. How would somebody that doesn't know you know where you work?
Because she's friends with my employer's daughter. And she called my employer's daughter and got the phone number that way.
Are you telling me that prior to...
She was, but when she called,
Okay.
That was the first conversation I've ever had with her in my life.
I'm not asking you whether that's the first conversation. You knew who she was.
Yes.
Had you ever seen her before?
Yes.
Where had you seen her before?
I seen her one time at Food for Less.
And what was the defendant doing there?
Shopping.
So you were just two strangers shopping?
Yes.
Did you exchange any word, like a hello?
She did with my employer.
You mean you were just standing there?
Yes, I was loading groceries onto the belt to be rang up.
So aside from that one meeting where she was there and spoke to your employer, you had never seen her before or after?
No.
Did your employer introduce you to her?
No.
So she didn't know your name?
She did know my name.
Wow.
Because my sister...
Just a second.
Okay, sorry.
Just explain to me. I'm not getting... These are not two strangers that she called you up. I'm trying to get to the truth of it. You're making it difficult for me.
Okay, well, she knows who I am, and I know who she is because our sisters used to be best friends about 15 years ago.
So according to you, that's the way you know her. Your sisters used to be best friends.
Yes.
Had you seen her 15 years ago?
No.
If your sister
I lived with my
spoke to
sister
her?
when growing up. I didn't live with my sister growing up.
How do you know your sister was best friends with her sister?
Because I was around her sister. When she would hang out with my sister and sometimes I would be visiting with her, she would be there.
Her sister?
Yes.
So that there is a connection. I'm just trying to figure out how a person, because she's in the restaurant business.
Right.
And she, according to you, called you, you say, at your place of employment.
Yes.
And threatened you about this post that you put up on your Facebook page that you're going to report anybody that you see violating the rule about indoor dining to whomever will listen, whatever media outlet will listen, whatever governmental agency will listen.
Yes.
Subsequent to that phone call, which I'm sure was unpleasant, you decided to do some sort of a fundraiser. And your fundraiser was for whose benefit?
For my brother.
Why?
Because he has schizophrenia and he also has a substance abuse problem, and I was trying to raise money to get him into treatment.
Is that what you wrote in your fundraising advertising?
No, I didn't. I really didn't want to put his business out there like that.
So what did you say?
I have the poster right here, what I had, if you would like me to read it to you.
Sure.
Chili beans and white rice and cornbread and fried chicken. Can also put crackers if you'd like, nice size servings, and $10 a plate or 2 for $15. I can also deliver for free. And then I posted pictures.
Just a second. It doesn't say that you're doing it for anything other than yourself. It doesn't say anything about fundraiser.
It doesn't say anything, but that's what it was for.
I don't care what you're telling me now it was for, because I believe that that's probably a whole lot of baloney. So what you were doing is you were cooking out of your home for commercial sale for profit. That's what you were advertising. $10 a plate or 2 for $15. You advertised what it was. According to you, you had lots of orders and you made $300 and people would come to your house and pick up the food. Is that what the idea was?
Yes. I was delivering, actually.
Okay. You made according to you, about $300 when the defendant posted on her Facebook page what you consider a defamatory statement.
Yes. About
what you were doing, making and selling food for profit out of your home. And you want to tell me what she said about you, because that's the basis of your lawsuit.
Right.
What did she say?
Would you like me to read the whole post or just the part that...
This is only a half-hour program.
Okay, I'll just read you this part. So she said, someone has a very serious health issue that can kill with one drop of blood, so please beware and don't purchase from her. And she posted pictures of my comment and my post that I made selling the food along with that statement.
Okay, put it up so I can read the whole thing now. Now put it up on evidence. Can I see the replies?
I don't think I have the replies for that post.
Just a second. Well, would you tell me where she mentions your name?
My name is right here and right here. She posted pictures of my picture with my name right next to it with the stuff that I posted along with what she said.
Yeah, I think you could probably put, but that says under replies.
Oh.
Is that what you posted, Miss Platt? Miss Platt?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I did write this.
So no, I saw that you wrote it. I'm asking you, you posted, it says under replies, you posted.
Yes, I did post, but underneath the replies, this is from Madeira to Go. Those where you see it says replies, that is from the Madeira to Go group page that we had, online garage sale. There was no replies coming from me. It was just other people replying that she was a hater, that she's a hypocrite for trying to call OSHA or whatever.
I'm just saying, I don't know who posted that.
If I may, ma'am?
No.
Okay.
I'll get to you in a second.
Okay.
I'm looking at her statement.
Mm-hmm. If I can clear up where it says replies, Your Honor, that's a screenshot of what I had posted originally saying I would call OSHA on people.
I understand. I understand that.
So she put my comment that I had made about calling OSHA on people along with my post of selling food with the statement that she said all in one post. She added the screenshots as pictures.
Correct.
Did you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I just want to make certain that there's a tie-in. Okay. So the only problem that she has is, just FYI, someone has a very serious health issue that can kill with a drop of blood, so please beware and don't purchase from her. You all be safe. So the someone that she's talking about, even though she posted your picture, you want me to tie the two in together, the someone, even though she doesn't mention your name.
Yeah, well, it's kind of goes hand in hand. If you put a picture, she said, the person reading it would believe that she's talking about me.
I could do that. Now, let's get back to you. Do you have a food license to be able to cook and sell to the public?
No, I don't.
Do you have a cottage license, which allows you to cook certain things in your house, that your house has been inspected?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
No.
So that you were breaking the law when you were cooking and selling food out of your house during COVID.
Yes.
And you knew you were breaking the law when you were cooking and selling food out of your house with COVID. I want you to understand that I'm not buying the sick brother story.
I actually have proof that my brother, he was put in an institution because he has schizophrenia and substance abuse. I wouldn't lie about that, Your Honor.
Just a second. I'm not questioning whether your brother is sick. I'm questioning whether you paid for it from the food you were making.
Well, he was put on a 5150 hold, so nobody paid for it. But what I'm saying is I couldn't even put him in a drug treatment program because everything I was doing was stopped.
Let me tell you that You didn't use this $300 for your brother. That's what I'm saying to you. I don't believe that. And you're saying to me, well, that's true, but I would have if I could have, if they let me. But it is for profit.
I did not use it for myself.
For profit, selling food out of your house without a license during COVID.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't like people who come to court and skirt around the truth, have a difficult time addressing and greeting the truth. That's a very hard thing for me.
Colleen Fuller says Moshe Platt slandered her on Facebook, causing her to lose income. Moshe is countersuing also for loss of income and harassment.
Now, who do you live with?
Myself.
Who do you work for?
I work for in-home support services.
So you see different people all the time?
No, I just have one client.
Or you stay with one. You have the same client now?
Yes, I've had for 8 years.
As part of your work responsibility, just so that I know, how often are you COVID tested?
I get tested once every 2 weeks.
Okay, now, I'm going to turn to you for a second. So I get the gist of it. What your countersuit is, which is ridiculous, which I'm not even entertaining, you say because she posted that, probably closed my business, and people threaten me on social media. Whatever she said, if somebody threatened you, then they're an idiot, because she didn't name you, according to what she read to me.
Okay, so...
Unless you're telling me, just a second.
Okay.
Did she write anything specific about you on her Facebook page?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd like to see what she specifically wrote about you.
Okay, so, because I know you have 30 minutes to do the show, I was sleeping and I woke up to a text message with a screenshot saying that, hey, are you okay, cousin? And I was like, yes. And I said, why?
Yeah, just, hey.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
I asked you to show me something, not speak.
Okay.
I said, show me what she said about you.
Right there, ma'am. It says Brianne Fuller, which I'm also assuming that it's her other account because I didn't speak to anyone else.
So why? Just a second. I want you to show me her original post.
This is the...
I don't care about that.
That is the original post. She said she spoke to that black Moshe Robinson, and she called and said about...
I don't care.
Okay,
I don't
not
care
a problem.
about that. That's nonsense.
And then I have text messages as well.
That's a nonsense.
I do have text messages if you want proof of that as well.
Part of your complaint that has to do with defamation. There's no defamation. It's just nasty speak.
Okay.
Now, the other part of your counterclaim, which I'm going to get rid of, is for harassment for $2,000. I want you to pick the worst text message she sent to you. The worst. Pick the worst text message she sent to you.
This is the text messages.
Don't speak. Don't speak. Just put it up on the evidence board.
Okay, here it is. She was using my uncle's stuff, so sorry. There's like a long list of them.
No, would you do me a favor? I said to you, pay attention. The worst text message she sent. Okay.
And I have another one. Would you like to see them?
Sure.
Okay.
Show me the other one. Show me the other one. That's not a threat.
This one right here is from my uncle's cell phone, which she called me from, which I have the screenshots of that as well. Watch the turnout. And I said, is that a threat to me? And that one here. And then on social media, she said she was going to slap me. It's right there in...
Okay. Very good. Very good. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Now let's get back to what we're really talking about. You're going to explain to me if you wrote she has a disease with even one drop of her blood, it could kill them. What did you write?
Just what it says there. It says someone. It says someone. It does not say her because I didn't want to put my family member on blast because they do live together. That is the reason why I said someone.
Are you telling me that the person, because in your answer says it's your uncle.
Yes.
Lives with her?
Yes.
Now?
Yes. When I had spoken to him on the phone, I said, do you know a Colleen Fuller? and she's carrying his last name, okay? So I said, do you know her? And his reply was, yes, I know her. I said, is that your wife? Is that your girlfriend? And he was like, well, we're not together anymore, but she does live here with me.
That's a lie.
That is very correct. I have no reason to lie.
Just a second. Your uncle says she's not my girlfriend anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Lie.
But she still lives here with me?
Correct. And he said that she's her own woman and she could speak for herself. Would you like to speak to her? I said yes.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
You have your uncle's phone number?
Yes, ma'am.
Give it to me.
559.
And just tell me his first name. You want me to make this call?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're coming to court with unclean hands.
Saying that I'm selling food. I'm just talking about the disease part.
I don't care.
Nobody said you had a disease.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Colleen Fuller is accusing Moshe Platt of slandering her on Facebook, causing her to lose income.
Okay. Number's been disconnected. Let's try it again.
Your Honor, that's the correct
559.
number. 559. I said that's the correct number. 559 is his phone number.
Okay. So you know her uncle?
He's my employer. I've been working for him through in-home support for 8 years. But I've never
Just a
dated
second.
this gentleman, ever.
Oh, now I got it.
If you could please make that call, he can clear everything up.
Just a second. Why didn't you just tell me that instead of saying my employer?
He's not her uncle. He even asked me, why does she keep calling me her uncle? And I'm not related to her, no way, shape, or form. That's what he told me.
My cousin is Ebony.
All right, just a second. I'm going to make this very simple for myself.
Okay.
Because I don't like people who come to court and skirt around the truth, have a difficult time addressing and greeting the truth. That's a very hard thing for me. But I don't even have to reach the point whether I think that she defamed you. You illegal food operation during a pandemic, exposing the public.
Your Honor,
You go to
the part
grocery
that I'm,
stores, you're out shopping.
The defamation part that I'm talking about is not...
Let's understand each other.
I understand you,
Let's
Your Honor.
understand each other.
I do.
Let's understand me. You're coming to court with unclean hands. Your unclean hands are you broke the law.
But I'm not talking about the part that she's saying that I'm selling food. I'm just talking about the disease part.
Nobody said you had a disease.
I don't care. What you are...
Yes, ma'am.
What you are asking the court is for help, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're asking the court for help. And you're coming to court having broken the law with relation to the same incident. And I'm not helping you because you don't have a love affair with the truth.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Are you the victim of an assault? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Now, if you had said to me, listen, I know, put your hand down.
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down.
Yes, ma'am.
If you had said to me, I know her, this is how I know her. I worked for a man for 8 years who she keeps calling her uncle. I don't think it's her uncle. Had to pull it out of you. She used to be best friends with my sister.
Her sister.
Goodbye. We're done with you. You don't have a love affair with the truth.
Your Honor,
and
but you're not letting me explain my case.
Hands.
If you would
Goodbye.
let me explain,
We're
please.
done. I heard enough. That's it.
What about my lost wages, ma'am?
I'm telling the truth, Your
What
Honor.
about my lost wages, ma'am? I lost business because of her.
If you could call my employer, he could tell you.
I dismissed your counterclaim. You weren't paying attention. You were too busy talking.
I had to pay back $4,000 for my customer.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I was in jail for the assault.
There was 2 assaults.
It was a bad idea to bring back her ex.
How did she cut her arm, Mr. Simple?
Daniel pushed me.
Judge Judy.
The comment that I had posted on Facebook, she took personally. It was nothing directed towards her.
She came for me and she came for.
It wasn't directed towards her because she doesn't have inside dining.
Someone is a fraud like her who could sit there and point the finger, but you're doing the most.
I just hope she doesn't defame anybody else and get sued again.
She got what she deserves.
Things to happen.
Gloom at her cheerleader's school.
You were shut down and you stopped paying rent because we had COVID.
But this mom
What are you charging her $3,000 for?
Won't fall for her stunt.
She didn't pay every single month.
And you stopped paying rent in March because we had COVID. You get where I'm going?
This is Judge Judy. Trisha Bryant is suing Johanna Ramos for unpaid cheerleading competition expenses.
Judge, this is case number 44 on the calendar in the matter of Bryant versus Ramos. Parties have been sworn in.
Thank you, Bird.
You're welcome, Judge.
Ms. Bryant, you run a program for young kids, a cheerleading program.
Correct.
And you've been doing that for a long time. It's your claim that the defendant owes you the balance of fees for her 2 daughters. And those fees accrued after COVID struck and the
Actually,
classes
they occurred from 2018.
Your complaint states, and I'm reading it, she paid in full for the 18-19 season without issue. So I trusted her. For the 19-20 season, she paid her last payment in February of 2020 and then stopped. That's your sworn statement.
Correct.
So one of her children was in, she was fully paid. You were fully paid.
She had a rolling balance of $955 for...
That's not what you said in your complaint, madam. Should have been more careful when you read it and signed it. You said she stopped paying you in February. That is after COVID struck, February of 2020. That's what you state in your sworn complaint.
That was her last payment.
Now, this is the issue. The issue is, does she owe the money? She had a signed contract with you.
Right.
So I have a few questions for you. I want you to explain to me how these competitive classes work. First, I would assume you teach the youngsters, and she has young children, the 2 that were in your program. First, there are lessons, and those are taught in person, historically. Is that correct?
Correct.
And are they taught by you or you and a staff?
We have staff members. We have choreographers come in. We have coaches come in.
Okay, and is this in a studio?
Mm-hmm. It's a gym.
Do you own the gym or rent the gym?
I own the gym. I don't own the property, but I own the tumble shop.
Repeat that for me, please.
I lease the facility.
From whom?
Pacific Coast Commercial.
And what's your rent?
$3,500 a month.
When was the last time you used the facility?
March 17th, 2020.
When was the last time you paid rent?
March 1st, 2020. I was closed down due to COVID.
I just asked you, when was the last time you paid rent?
It was March 1st.
And you stopped paying rent in March. And when was your lease up?
My lease was actually up in December 2019.
So you were a month-to-month tenant?
For the time being, we had an agreement with Pacific Coast. We were going to relocate to another city due to the area, what it has become. I didn't feel it was safe for children. I was going to rent another facility.
So you stopped paying rent on the facility where you had been holding classes on March 1st, and you did not relocate anywhere?
March 1st we were covered through April 1st, and in April 1st, we were going to move to a new facility. But due to COVID, we haven't moved yet.
Did you pay rent in March?
Yes.
From Pacific? That's an easy thing for me to find out from Pacific. You did?
Yes, I did.
Paid $3,500 in March?
Correct.
In April, you did not pay them rent, and you were going to move to another facility.
Correct.
My question to you is, did you move to another facility?
No, because I wasn't able to open with the...
I don't care, no. because we had COVID.
Right.
So starting in April, there was an impossibility for you to perform, just so that you understand, for all the children in your program.
We were holding Zoom classes.
The function that you were retained to do, which was to have choreographers in a gym at classes. So let's be clear. Because of COVID, you stopped paying rent and stopped having a facility where your classes on Zoom.
Correct.
For the children.
Correct.
Now, after you have the classes for the children, are there competitions?
All the competitions were canceled.
No, that's not my question to you. Historically, when someone signs up over 35 years that you've been running your school, have there been competitions with other cheerleading schools? Oh, yes. And in what months are those cheerleading competitions usually held?
November to the end of April.
And, of course, there were no competitions held in March or April.
We attended one the first week of March.
And after that, the rest of them were canceled.
Correct.
You get where I'm going? The defendant made her last payment to you in February. That's what you say in your complaint. That accurate?
Correct. January 29th.
Right. Can you tell me, Ms. Ramos, why your last payment was January 29th?
I
stopped working due to COVID.
In February?
I gave her the last payment in February.
Oh, can you show me that the last payment was in February, please?
No, all my payments were made in cash.
Okay. Do you have a receipt?
I don't.
Did your daughters attend any programs in February before everything was shut down?
Yes.
Do you remember how many weeks in February they attended classes?
Sometimes the classes were canceled.
Okay, but they did attend, and according to you, you paid her in cash in February.
Yes.
Was she always paid in cash?
Yes.
How much cash was she paid every month?
From May to October, I gave her $300 a month cash. To November and December, I did $200 cash also. January and February, I did $260 in cash for each month, and it was all in cash.
Last year, when your older daughter attended the program, did you also pay her in cash?
Yes.
Do all of your students pay you in cash?
No, ma'am.
But Miss Ramos paid you in cash.
I have credit card receipts that the cards were denied, and so I would ask her to bring cash or check or money order.
I'm just asking you if you were paid in cash.
Yes, Miss Ramos.
The answer is from her, yes. Other people paid in either credit card or a check.
It was usually automatic or
but she paid in cash, and you accepted the cash, and she was current in her payment, according to you, for the first year. That's according to your sworn statement for the 18-19 year. Okay, Ms. Bryant, you do understand that the ravages to business of the COVID pandemic caused a lot of things to happen, including to you, including to Pacific, your landlord, right?
Right.
Because you were what actually happened. And you had a program that provided for in-person lessons, choreographers, according to you, gymnasts, according to you, in a program for little girls. And then there were a series of competitions, which were all part of the program. In-person competitions. That no longer existed, just like your rent to Pacific no longer existed because of COVID.
Correct.
So since you couldn't perform the service that was contracted for by providing in-person lessons with choreographers, according to you,
but she wasn't billed for...
And the competitions that didn't take place.
She wasn't billed for those competitions, nor the tuition for those months. The competitions we didn't attend, she wasn't charged.
Well, what are you charging her $3,000 for? According to you, she was paid up, made her last payment in February 2020. That's according...
I have a statement
I'm just telling you...
she gets emailed every month.
No, listen to me. You signed a statement. Your statement, your complaint, which she got served with, said she made her last payment in February and she was current for her 18-19 year. She stopped paying in February.
She didn't pay every single month. That was the problem. I have text messages from her that I was supposed to meet her, and she didn't show up.
Well, do you want to tell me what months are you...
In December, her payment was January 29th, and then the last one was May 30th.
No,
September 8th.
I'm talking about 2020. You're stuck with 18-19.
Oh, sorry, writing it backwards.
I'm talking about 2020. Your statement is clear. She was up to date. Let's go.
December 7th was her last payment until March 5th. That was her last payment.
March 5th of 2020?
2020 was $200, made via Venmo.
Okay, so in March she made a payment of $200. In February, did she make a payment?
No, her last payment before that was December 7th of $200 in cash. Before that was October, $200 in cash.
Okay, just a second. So your daughters did attend in January and February.
Yes.
But did not attend in March because it was closed. So I'm attributing the March payment to February. So did you or did you not make a payment in January?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you have any proof that
you
did not make a payment in January?
I have proof because she gets an email statement every month, and I have the log that gets out by Jackrabbit that states when...
All I want... I just want to see
and
January.
I'm giving you January right here. The green are
All I'm interested in is January. Just a second. She made
payment. Here's January
December.
Right here. There's December.
Listen to me. January only. According to you, she made a payment in March 5th, and your school was no longer in existence in March.
Oh, we practiced until March 17th.
Well, it wasn't in existence in March. And the kids didn't get what they bargained for anyway because they were supposed to have competitions through April. I'm asking you about January. Show me January 2020.
January's right here. She was charged $150 for her monthly tuition. There was no payment made. The last payment was December 7th.
Okay. Just 1 second. She was charged $150 in January and did not make a payment. I see January, transaction fee, transaction payment. So transaction fee was $150, empty transaction payment, which she did not pay in January. Where do you have February? Show me her February payment.
February is tuition, her merchandise.
So she just a second. So she did not pay in February. Now
Correct.
show me March.
March is right here.
March 5th, she paid $200. Okay, and in February, her tuition fee was $150.
Correct.
Okay, and the girls did attend in January, correct?
Yes.
Anything else?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
let me finish. I'm a handyman. I can explain you better. I know I'm the pro here. So we fill the gap.
I have more doors than you have years, Mr. Singh.
Of course you.
That is not the way you install a door.
Trisha Bryant says Johanna Ramos owes for her daughter's cheerleading competition expenses.
Now, you don't owe her anything for 2020 when your girls did not attend the program. She signed a complaint indicating that you were up to date, but you made your last payment in February. You did not actually make a payment in February. You made it in March. But in March, the program became defunct.
Yes.
So I'm ascribing the March payment that you made to February, which means you still owe her the January payment of $150. We're done. Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I mean, there was a lot of practices and competitions canceled.
We were unable to practice. But we did compete November, December. We did 6 competitions from November until February.
We were still paying for them, so.
Online classes were done after March.
I would not do that. They need someone in person.
I'm working with about half of them still.
Yeah, I will find another one.
All parties in the matter of Olivetti versus Singh. Step to the podium, please.
Grace Singh, for the cost of 2 doors, plus installation and removal costs. Harpinder is countersuing for unpaid labor.
Mr. Singh, I'm going to start with you, sir.
Thanks.
Miss Olivetti hired you to do work in her house. She hired you to replace 2 doors and to adjust 2 others. You didn't go yourself to do the job. You sent somebody else. Who did you send?
It's my team member, Sunny, and it's 2 times he went there, and 3rd time I will go.
All right, she hired you, you sent somebody else. You came and looked at the doors after your handyman, the other person that you work with, put them in. You realized that it was very poorly done. Would that be fair to say, Mr. Singh? It was poorly done.
Yes, but I fix it.
Well, show me what it looked like after you fixed it.
Yes. So after we installed on March 5th, so she complained that.
Mr. Singh, just show me what you say it looked like when you fixed it.
When you fix it.
That's not fixed.
Fix.
You mean you put that strip in the door that's not flush?
I fill the caulking.
From one side?
Let me finish. I'm a handyman. I can explain you better. I know you do your job. You're a judge. I'm a handyman. I'm the pro here. So we fill the gap.
I have more doors than you have years, Mr. Singh.
Of course you.
That.
So when I went there, she complained to me. I said, okay, I'll come personally and fix it. Because in the first stage, she keeps saying me that door is ruined. You just buy the new door, replace with it. I say, ma'am, just give me one chance to come, have a look, and fix it. If after fixing, if you don't like it, I will replace for you.
You went, and that's what you did.
Okay,
Isn't that's what you told me the door looks like after you went there and fixed it.
But after fill the caulkings and fillers, so I asked, ma'am, I fill the cracks. Well, I can do a free painting for you to the doors. She said, no. I always respect my customer. I say, okay, if you don't want, I'm not charging you anything right now. I will buy a new door for you and bring it for you. And if you don't paintings, no worries. I bought the doors for her. And then we have an agreement. This agreement, we have it. On March 9th. By the text message. So I will reimburse for the door and she will not do any online review or any legal actions. I bought the door for her on April 2nd. Here's a proof by text message. I informed her. She said, can you please send me the receipt, invoice, so I can follow through directly with the Home Depot, because I bought the door from the Home Depot. Doors were expensive. $600 for a small businessman is very expensive, but still bought it because I want to make my customer happy.
Mr. Singh, if you don't stop talking, I'm just going to say goodbye to you.
All right.
He put in the new doors, and we're 7 months later, and you're using the doors that he put in.
Yes.
Do you have an estimate from another contractor to install new doors?
I have what?
That's either a yes or a no.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Grace Olivetti says handyman Harpinder Singh damaged her home while attempting to replace 2 doors.
You returned the doors that you bought for her,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Yes. That's all I want to know. You returned the new doors that you bought for her because you had made a mess. Don't speak. Because you had made a mess out of the first job that you did. But you returned those doors. What she's suing you for now are the cost of the doors, which she got rid of and had to replace. How much were the doors, Ms. Olivetti?
$436 for both of them.
For both?
Yes.
And how much money did you pay to Mr. Singh?
Per our agreement, I did not pay anything to him yet because they were not satisfactorily put in.
Just a second. Forget that. Forget his counterclaim. He did a terrible job, and the 2 doors that he put in had to be because he went and bought 2 new doors because of what his assistant did with those doors. But why are you suing him for $1,467 when it cost you $436 for new doors, and then I assume you had to have somebody else install them?
Well, I still have the doors that he put up, the ones that were ruined, okay, because the agreement was that he was going to purchase 2 new doors from Home Depot, which he did, and I have his receipt that he sent me.
Yeah, but then he returned them. Miss Olivetti.
Exactly. So I still have the damaged doors. I have not purchased new ones yet, pending this.
Just a second, Miss. Just a second. He put in the new doors
and repair 2 doors.
We're now in October. Yeah. March, April, May, June, July, August, September. We're 7 months later.
Yeah.
And you're using the doors that he put in.
Yes.
Do you have an estimate from another contractor to install new doors?
I have what?
That's either a yes or a no.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com.
Now, do you have an estimate from another contractor to install new doors?
I have what?
That's either a yes or a no.
Not from another contractor, no.
Well, who's going to install the doors for you if not another contractor?
Home Depot.
I tell you what we do. I am entering a provisional judgment for the plaintiff, Mr. Singh, in the amount of $436. When she can produce proof that she has purchased new doors to replace the ones that have now been hanging for 7 months and evidently doing the job.
Yeah, but they look awful.
You didn't pay for them. They look awful. When you buy new doors, you get $436. Thank you very much. We're finished here. Goodbye.
I have a counter sue for here because I am not finished because a door was not returned.
You did an awful
I bought the doors.
Job.
Let me finish it.
Goodbye.
Please. Well, give me 2 minutes.
Goodbye.
This case is concluded.
Over.
Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
When he got incarcerated, I tried to tell him that I didn't really want to be involved with his criminal actions.
Was that the first time you've been incarcerated?
No, I've been incarcerated before.
Next Judge Judy.
1-star review on Home Advisor.
It was just...
we have an agreement. I will buy the door for you and deliver to you, but you will not do going any online review.
My heart just went down and was like, oh, no, please.
I said, okay, no worries. I'm happy with you. Still, you have chance to update the review, and I will deliver the doors at your door.
The review does stand.
She never updated